Still with the royals.
This story really ticks me
The Caribbean campaigners, they're called the CARICOM Reparations Commission Group, have demanded that the King Charles, it doesn't matter the fact he's ill, they want him to apologise right now for the royal families, the British monarchy's involvement in the slave trade 300 years ago or whatever it was. And they also want reparations. Now, I said this last night on the talk. I said, look, the slave trade is awful. We know that. It was an aberration, a stain on humanity's history. But it was 3 centuries ago. What possible use is it that somebody said to me, well, don't you want the King to say sorry? I said, I don't care. I really don't care. What difference will it make? And I do not want to see this country, the monarchy or anyone, shell out a single penny to any other country because of the slave trade 300 years ago. That is insane.
I think you're missing something here. I think you're missing something here, this new precedence that we might set. Because I've just started writing down a list of the countries we could go after who at one point in history enslaved Brits and Angles and Saxons. So Italy, Romans, you guys, you owe us a penny or two. What about the Normans? That's right, you Danes over there who invaded France, came over here, took over our country and put us all in prisons. What about the Vikings? You raped and pillaged. What about the Ottoman Empire? Turkey, you owe us some money. I think we could get a good coin out of
Norway.
this, you know?
Norway owes us money because of what the Vikings did to us.
Give us your fuel for free.
Absolutely disgraceful.
How dare you, vile people?
This is absolutely absurd, this kind of hand-wringing, signal, virtue signalling about stuff that nobody is responsible for today. It is not a king's fault that the monarchy profited from the slave trade. He wasn't born for another 3 centuries. This is absolutely absurd. Do you know what they're doing in California? They are considering...
I don't never want to know what they're doing in California.
Well, you won't like this, that they are literally considering giving every single black resident of colour $5 million to atone for...
Everyone gets $5 million?
Yeah, each individual of colour.
They should never have legalised marijuana in that state, should they?
Do you see what I mean? This is madness.
Barmy.
Madness. Spend the money on today, on the people, all the problems we've got, and the King should resist this for all he is worth. Now, it is, of course, it was Super Tuesday. Super Wednesday today. It's Super Tuesday, it was yesterday, and it was very super for Donald Trump. He absolutely annihilated his remaining opponent in the race to become the Republican nominee. That's Nikki Haley, who hasn't dropped out yet for some reason. But he won pretty much every state apart from one, I think it was. Anyway, let's have a listen to old Donald in action.
We've watched our country take a great beating over the last 3 years, and nobody thought a thing like this would be possible. We wouldn't have Russia attacking Ukraine. We wouldn't have Israel being attacked. Iran, as you know, was broke. When I was running things, they were broke. They didn't have money for Hamas. They didn't have money for Hezbollah.
Oh, he's a funny colour, isn't he? I mean, funnier than usual.
He's gonna walk this. He won 12 states. Nikki Haley won 1. And this was a landslide. And meanwhile, though, Alex, quietly, it's not just the Republicans who are choosing their nominees, so are the Democrats. And guess who they chose? It's Joe Biden.
It's the fossil. The caucus has chosen a carcass.
So it's Trump v. Biden Mark II. It's the sequel. That will be the presidential election. And I do not see a way in hell that a snowball's chance in hell for Joe Biden to beat the dynamic Donald Trump.
What is both hilarious and really quite disturbing is the fact that most Americans don't want either of them. This is exactly the contest they don't want. They want some sort of Republican who is less sort of, I don't know,
don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. I think millions, it's a fair point. It's a fair point.
No, I'm not saying that there are millions who support
Republicans around America, in the Deep South, in the Midwest, they like Trump.
They do, but if you look at the polling of a lot of Americans, they don't really want either of these guys. But to be honest, I'm kind of happy for Biden versus Trump rematch because we'll get rid of the fossil. Donald will come back and we'll make the West safe again.
I want Trump to win.
I kind of want Trump
and
back,
he will because they say Donald can't win. Well, he can beat an old fossil who can't stand up.
Can we get him to come over here and build a wall around Britain?
Yes, let's do that. Build a wall. Let's build a wall.
Don't turn the boats around. Just build a wall.
This is the front page of the Daily Mail today, and I think it sums up
This
a
is a
lot of what's
huge
wrong with
story.
our country. That 5 serving SAS soldiers are facing possible murder charges over the death of a suspected jihadist in Syria. Now, basically, those criticising the SAS say this man was executed in cold blood, and therefore these people might be charged with murder. We shouldn't be charging our soldiers with murder when they are acting in the field of conflict. Meanwhile, I didn't know this. There's a massive public inquiry, a High Court public inquiry, going on into the alleged execution of 80 prisoners by the SAS over a period of time from 20 to 2013. So what we're doing is we attack our own soldiers for them serving their country.
They make
it's
it
just
very
mad.
difficult for our servicemen and women to do the jobs they're trained to do. But what alarms me about this is they're saying that the troops have used excessive force, should have arrested the man instead. But the soldiers, who are still in active duty, by the way, said that he posed a threat and intended to carry out a suicide attack. So this is one of those life or death situations. Is he going to blow himself up? Is he going to kill some of our troops? What do? We have to intervene, make a snap decision. If then the SAS, who are some of the most elite forces in the world, I know SAS officers and they're great men. They always have like amazing hierarchy about them as well, like respect and intelligence, and they're grafters. If they then think if we have to make a snap decision in a war zone and we could end up with murder charges, I mean, God help us.
Yeah. I mean, the point is in that split second when soldiers have to make a decision. You know, it's a bit like coppers when they have to make a decision with a gun. You know, they won't always make the right decision because they've got a split second. But we have to protect them then, because all they are doing is they're trying to do their jobs to the best of their ability. They're trying to defend their country. And what do? We take them to court and charge them with murder. This is insane.
It's mad.
Insane. Right, still with insane, Birmingham Council. They have now voted to approve.
21% increase in council tax. Lucky them. And was it £300 million of efficiency savings?
600 jobs to go. It is thought to be the biggest budget cut in local authority history. Life is going to be tough. You're going to get your bins collected about once every year in Birmingham.
You're going to be paying loads more money for far fewer services.
And do you know why this has happened, Alex? It's because the people who run Birmingham Council are inept and useless.
I think these
But they
councils,
do pay themselves sort of £600,000 a year.
These councils need auditing, because I remember it was councils like Birmingham who, when someone had a little peek at the books, had some funny, fishy goings-on when it came to taxi services and mates getting contracts for ridiculous amounts of money, millions of pounds to take one kid to school for a term.
Of course, Birmingham isn't...
Stuff like that.
Yeah, Birmingham isn't the only local authority in trouble in this way. Quite a few are. And to be fair, it's not a party political thing. We're not saying, oh, those Labour councils, some of them are Tory. But the problem with local councils is the town hall tyrants. They all gather in the town hall and then they pay themselves like £600,000 a year.
More than
massive amounts of money. Meanwhile, the potholes accumulate, your bins don't get collected, and the whole area, local area, goes to rack and ruin. That's what's going on.
But no, I'm serious. We need to look into some of the funny contracts some of these councils
Agreed.
are dishing out.
Agreed.
They're funny.